Well, if you're wondering how our modern liberal culture is holding up against the formidable forces that are seeking to destroy it these days, United States Vice President Kamala Harris has it covered.
Well, I think culture is a reflection of our moment and our time, right? And present culture is the way we express how we're feeling about the moment.
And nothing expresses how we're feeling about the moment better than a movie about Barbie, a plastic doll who, along with her boyfriend Ken, is exiled from a perfect world for her imperfections and thrown into the equally imperfect world of humans. Sounds biblical, right? If only. Barbie and Ken don't spend the rest of the movie mitigating their original sin, but according to the press release, instead spend the rest of the movie trying to find true happiness. Spoiler alert, they don't. They're dolls. Anyway, I guess we'll all find out what really happens after weeks of hype when the movie is released next Thursday. Many sessions are already booked out, such is the high expectation for this film. One of the few details we know about the movie is this. That series of dashes you see on the right-hand side of the image may or may not represent the 9-dash line, which Chinese cartographers use to define China's claim on the South China Sea, to the chagrin of other countries in the area like Vietnam and the Philippines, which responded by preemptively banning the film. The Philippines has since withdrawn the ban on the grounds that the map is blurred. Australian National University Professor of International Law Donald Rothwell says Vietnam's response is, quote, understandable. The studio, Warner Brothers, says the dashes represent Barbie's journey and are not a geopolitical statement. But then they would say that, wouldn't they? 3 years ago, China overtook the United States as the biggest box office in the world, but access to it requires acquiescing to the Communist Party's strict rules about geopolitics. 2 years ago, John Cena, the star of the latest Fast and Furious franchise, posted a grovelling apology in Mandarin, of all languages, to his Chinese masters for accidentally referring to Taiwan in a pre-release interview. The apology worked. The movie grossed $136 million US dollars in its first week in China. As if the dashes on the map are not a nudge message to China that Hollywood doesn't care what China does in the South China Sea as long as its films still get access to the mainland. And you can bet who will be churning out the triumphant films about Chinese dominance should China ever take Taiwan. That's how Hollywood feels about our culture today.